Hello, this is Taha.
This is Anaina,
This is Movie Masala.
and we're here to yap at you about films we watched recently.
And today we're doing
The Mastermind, directed and written by Kelly Reichardt.
I've got things to do.
What things? Like what? That's a lot of money.
Just hear me out. It's a big, life-changing opportunity for me. But I'd have to rent a workspace and purchase tools, which I...
Brand new film, premiered at Cannes and just released in the UK this Friday, and starring in the titular Mastermind role, Josh O'Connor. He's doing so much stuff. Like, this film was also at London Film Festival, and I think he was at London Film Festival at least 2 to 3 times. Once for this film, once for The History of Sound, and once again for the new Knives Out.
also a very timely film.
Yes, I'm gonna get to that. But just like to give Josh O'Connor his moment in the spotlight, he's doing a lot of stuff. He is the white boy of the moment. And I say white boy of the moment because he carries this film,
Yeah.
which is, like you said, very timely because it is about a heist, as the title doesn't really suggest. But, anyway, it's about Josh O'Connor's character, James Blaine Mooney, stealing art from random museum in this town of Framingham, Massachusetts in the 1970s.
Could not happen today.
Would not happen today. Side note, please follow the news about the crown jewels being stolen from the Louvre, arguably one of the biggest museums in the world. So, not really the same, but kind of. Because as more details emerge about it, one fact becomes very clear, which is that it was such a simplistic heist. It was so simple.
Yes.
A ladder, put up,
Yeah.
they kind of soared into it, took them, climbed back down that ladder, drove away.
It makes it feel like I could do this, even though I could not. I should
Exactly.
not. But
exactly.
it makes me feel like I could.
Exactly. And that's the point of the Mastermind. It sets up this heist as this impossibly easy thing that
Okay.
James, or JB as he's called, just does. Right? Him and his family, which includes his wife, played by Alana Haim, and his 2 twin boys, Carl and Tommy, played by Sterling Thompson and Jasper Thompson, respectively. They're at a museum and they're kind of looking at the art. We don't really know that the 2 boys and Alana Haim, whose character's name is Terry, are related to like JB initially. We just kind of think the annoying kids who are meant to be like a sidetrack to the heist or something. Anyway, basically,
Okay.
JB just kind of flips open one of the displays, like that has a drawer with little wooden figurines in it, just swipes the little wooden figurine out, puts it into his sunglass case, and then drops the sunglass case into Terry's purse. And then that's it. That's the heist. But that's like the testing heist. The actual heist I'm not actually going to talk about because I feel like when you watch the film, it is so unbelievably funny when you find out what they're stealing,
Okay.
how they're stealing, and how they're stealing, or how they intend on stealing.
So the film doesn't tell you what's exactly, like, how in heist movies, it's like, oh, the plan is happening and they show you the plan and they tell you what's exactly going to happen in the plan. So the plan goes wrong and you know what went wrong. It's not doing that. It's not telling you what the exact plan is, I'm assuming.
It is telling you what the exact plan is. Like once you get like a bit into the movie.
Okay.
But then you're right. It is kind of like the regular heist film where you watch the heist happen and you kind of, in your head, when you hear the plan, you're like, this is going to go so horribly wrong because of how like stupid it sounds. And then it does go horribly wrong, but then it also works. And I think it's kind of framed as this happened in the 70s, guys. It never lets you forget that this is happening in the 1970s in like a small town in the US at like the peak of the anti-war protests and movements. Anti-war being against the Vietnam War. So you're kind of constantly thinking, this is so stupid, but then you're also constantly kind of made to think, oh, well, this is the 70s. This could just happen.
Again, could not happen now.
Right? Getting back to like what the film is about, the heist bit of the film is not all of it.
Okay.
Like most heist movies, it doesn't finish when the heist finishes.
Yeah.
Because then this film would be a short film.
Fair enough.
It kind of progresses, and I want to try and avoid as many spoilers as I can. Not because like it's really exciting or mysterious or something, but because I feel like after watching it, if you know what's going to happen, you're going to get up and leave. Because this film is slow.
Okay.
There's not a lot of talking.
Okay.
There's not a lot of action for the most part. There's a lot of kind of just looking and, you know, this one guy doing things and then getting stuck in these insane scenarios because of his own incompetence or like semi-competence,
Okay.
which just fails him. And all of this is scored to like fabulous jazz,
Love that.
which, by the way, is beautifully done by Rob Mazurek. I loved the jazz, the music in this film. It added to the atmosphere of like a little bit of mystery, but also a little bit of silliness. And I think Josh O'Connor plays that silliness so well. Like, have you ever looked at Josh O'Connor's face and thought, be a really good, pathetic man?
Yeah. Yes, maybe.
So that, yes, maybe is part of his kind of patheticness in the film. He's basically meant to embody this aimless, privileged, rich because of his parents, white guy who
Okay.
at that time and possibly currently had no idea what to do. So kind of just does the first thing that comes to his mind.
Okay.
But really, there's nothing much to him. He's kind of this regular guy who's raising a family or has a family, has no job, really. His wife kind of earns, and then he lives off of his parents, his dad, who's like a famous judge. And then just one fine day decides to steal some art and then gets into trouble for it. And then just goes about wandering around life until the final moment.
Truly a man in the 70s, you know?
Exactly. And again, I don't want to tell you what the ending is because it'll spoil it and then you will leave. Everyone will leave the theater if I like describe what the film is. Like
All of the 5 people who listen to this will leave the theater.
Yes, they will. I am convinced they will because people in my cinema did.
Okay, wow.
Yes. I could hear them whispering because they were in like my row. And this one guy was like, oh yeah, nothing's really going to happen now. Just this and that is going to happen. And so then him and his 2 friends just got up and left.
Okay. I mean,
Which I
wouldn't
thought
you...
was a little bit...
Yeah, like, wouldn't you want to at least confirm your suspicions? Like, why wouldn't you want to validate your guesswork?
No. He knew what was going to happen.
As he had watched it already.
Or looked it up. Yeah, one of the
Oh,
two.
yeah. I mean, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you look up a
Right.
film's ending that you don't
Right.
want?
Exactly. Anyway, yeah. And so the film kind of, the last 30 minutes of the film kind of make you go through it. They are rough, I will admit.
Yeah.
Up until the like last few frames, I was like, oh, why? This film maybe should have just stopped 30 minutes ago. And then you see the last scene and the last frame and you're like, okay, that was worth it. You know, I really don't like films where all of the film is fantastic, the build-up is great, and then the ending just lets you down. Do you know
Yeah,
the kind of film I'm talking
100%.
about?
Yeah. Where it feels like you had an incredible plot idea, but you didn't know how to tie everything up or how to end this. Like, your story is great, but you don't know what final like message or like what do you want to leave audiences on.
Exactly. But this film knows. This film knows
Okay.
exactly where it wants to leave you, and it knows exactly what it wants you to leave thinking. And it's true that the last 29 minutes leading up to this kind of make you go, what the fuck, what am I watching?
In an anxiety sense or like in a I'm confused sense?
In a I'm confused, why is this film still going sense? Or where is this
Okay.
film going sense?
Is that like in a sense you're feeling directionless in a bad way?
Yes. But that's because JB is feeling directionless, or is rather
Okay.
wandering aimlessly.
Okay.
Until that last minute, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was good. I know why I suffered for 29 minutes for this. So I genuinely think that this film pays off, if nothing else. And I find the irony of the title, The Mastermind, so hilariously followed throughout the film. And the kind of patheticness, yet almost funny seriousness that Josh O'Connor plays this quote unquote mastermind with. I really, really appreciated that.
That's
And I
fine.
think that if you're willing to spend like 110 minutes of like quiet, restrained, subtle, almost silence plot or kind of action or character, then this film is worth it. To me, at least. Like, I wouldn't give it 5 stars or even 4 stars, but I will give it 3.5 stars just because of how like clever it is in
Okay.
that final moment. Like, I feel like this film is best when at its beginning and at its
Okay.
end.
Fair enough. So it feels like a film which has really, really strong moments and
Yeah.
very good points, but
Yeah.
isn't able to keep that sustained throughout. And sometimes you have to suffer through to get to the good part. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like the setting of 1970s anti-Vietnam War protests is really relevant in this film because it's not the main plot line of the film. It's just kind of happening in the background. And that's kind of the point, that with such a high-scale, international, high-stake kind of world event happening, this guy can think of nothing better to do than to steal art.
Fair. I understand that. I understand how it highlights the character in such a meaningful way.
Exactly. And it does play like, if you're willing to look into it, it does play like a really good role in shaping kind of character motivation and political tensions and kind of the relationship between state and citizen, or like, what is private ownership, what's public ownership, etc. So yeah, I think it's a very clever film, very cleverly written by Kelly Reichardt, who I think is a great director as well. I haven't watched anything of hers before, but I really, really appreciated this kind of style of storytelling. But yeah, it is out in general theaters, so do go and watch it if you want to. Like, have a fun afternoon drinking wine, as the people in my theater were. Oh, and lastly, I just want to say, the timing of this film could not be better, and Josh O'Connor's promotion of it is just brilliant. He keeps getting asked the question, what would you steal? And his answer is beautiful for me. It was before the Louvre heist happened and after that he would steal something from private ownership and make it public. And I'm like,
Lovely.
pop off. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Those were our thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. This podcast is produced solely by us with musical assets from Pixabay. If you enjoyed this, please do share it. See you again next time.